At least I have chicken.
Gentlemen in the mix.
Back to New York City. I must always from this secure.
Oh, we had to do this.
And then
Like that.
Back to New York City.
32.33 repeating, of course.
I must always from this secure.
Well, hello there, traders. Welcome to the stream. Happy Easter. Wow, what an interesting form of price action we got right out the gate. And as I'm speaking to you, Bitcoin is at its highest level since April 2nd. Phenomenal. And it's so interesting because futures, US futures, are selling off. They're not doing well. The bond yields are spiking again. Not great, man. Thanks for joining me on this late night Easter 420 stream. It's 422 Universal Time, but yeah, thanks for being here. And we're gonna look at these charts, all right? So let's take it all in. Got my new stream deck, my new mic. Will be fully operational tomorrow, so it'll sound way better than it is right now. This is a mobile setup, Bluetooth, but yeah, things are changing, man. And really, the breakout, we had broken out officially, I think, on the 12th, and nothing, no follow through. But now, at least we're getting a little bit of follow through. Nearing the 200-day sub-moving average around 88,350. Seems like that's what's going to be tested next. And if we are able to, you know, exceed prices, I mean, 18,600, a couple swing highs from March 25th, April 2nd. And that's it. That's on deck. And then if we were able to see buyers breach that, then I think it's a pretty easy $92,000 target. And that's it. So, okay. The levels above us, 88.5, 88.7, then 92K after that. Then it's just like we have the dragon. It's the dragon, right? The bullish dragon pattern. The spine broke. The tail. We discussed on last stream, it was like one of those dogs with little nub tails. No dragon tail. So the dragon tail is beginning to grow now. All right, and what we want to see is the largest dragon tail we could dream of, and could wind up, you know, eventually seeing an 88% retrace from the previous high to low, which is like 105. That would be a dream of all dreams. I don't know how it can happen in these macro conditions, this environment. It's so fearful. It's so uncertain. You know, the U.S. equities market. But man, that was kind of like last week, right? What was the story? Gold's going parabolic. It's going to end with a blow up top at some point. We just don't know when. That's the good. The bad, U.S. equities. I mean, they were just rolling over last week. And Dow Jones Industrial Average lost support. S&P 500 is beginning to lose support today on the new open. NASDAQ not looking good either. IWM's been garbage, whatever. And then the good, the bad, and then not ugly, but the pretty, the resilient, the sideways, the good, the bad, the sideways was Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin is a mega cap tech stock most of the time. Why is it not dumping with Meta and Nvidia, the semiconductors? And here we are pumping. Now, like, inverse correlated, we're not dumping with equities dumping, and now pumping with equities dumping. It's very cool to see because we're living in a very historical time where Bitcoin has never existed in such a moment like this, where the whole monetary world order is shifting, is changing, and no one really knows how this is all going to end up with the tariffs, the trade war. Yeah, very, very interesting times. So it's good to be able to witness these interesting times together, right? But all I can say on Bitcoin, the dragon. And we have overhead resistance just upon us. So again, I just wanted to go live because, you know, I wasn't able to stream earlier today. I hope y'all had a wonderful Easter. Shout out to Jesus coming out of that tomb with guns blazing. Hype. And man, hype for being in my living room and being able to, you know, just...
I have some evidence Vanbear Pig could be in this area.
DXY, we didn't even discuss that. DXY alert's been going off. over 3-year lows on the US dollar index. Okay, so great timing. Why don't we just shift to it real quick so you can see. Disgusting. DXY down over 1% on the new week, new day. Lowest level seen since like April 1st of 2022, heading on down 97.30. Also a demand line that takes us back to 2009. Okay, way back. This is just a channel. All right, maybe the demand line's not 2009. I think it's like 2011. But either way, very long time since we've seen this, and you're just marking down. I mean, this thing has been just, since you confirmed that top February 4th, DXY is down 10.63% in a little over 2 months. So wow, just you can imagine, like, oh, let's use my imagination on, you know, Japanese yen to US dollar. Bam, what a pump going on. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're getting close to some overhead resistance right here. 7.1 tenths of 1 cent. If they break that, that's a mega breakout level. Wow. All right, people are scared. People are very, very afraid. How's gold doing? Huh. Parabala. Asia is continuously FOMOing into gold, right? They're going to jewelry stores. They're waiting in line to get their hands on as many gold bars as they can. It's almost like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but the golden ticket is gold. Are you Mike TV? Are you gonna be the little fat girl that, you know, ate the blueberry or whatever? That's you, buying gold right now. Okay, this isn't gonna end well at some point, but we don't, you know, 4K, straight line up, man, who knows? Price discovery, we got acceleration. We have macro events that are propagating this, and you just don't know when it will conclude. Bob knows is Veruca salt. Any thoughts on dog with hat coin? Yeah, scam, dude. Arthur Hayes says he's not selling until the dog takes the hat off or something. Okay, dude, well, just rejoice for Bitcoin, because somehow, you know, the crypto joke market can rally. I mean, it was never about the joke coins. It was about Bitcoin, okay? And we can look at these. But, man, this is just phenomenal gold. We are at all-time highs as I'm speaking to you, but that's been the case for a while now. So we'll have an alert set up if we're hearing fresh all-time highs. You know, we'll hear beep, and we can get excited, man. Silver, it's up a little bit. I like how they recaptured 32.51. That's a big deal. Excuse me if you heard me burp. Sorry. Carbonated water. Sparkling water, dude. Super lavish. Super, super posh, all right. Pellegrino. Okay, yeah, silver above this level. I mean, 34.50 on deck. You know, no edge, right? You don't have to have an edge for an asset to rally or valley. So it's just kind of V-shaping right now. Was risking off with the equities and looking pretty strong right now. So, and something about like the 1980 FOMO run on golds. Silver lagged behind for a long time, but then began to catch up, and then, you know, it went on its own insane blow up top cycle conclusion or whatever. So, okay, cool. So look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Oh boy, Bitcoin dominance had a little lull on the weekend while Solana and a few others rallied, and just super strong, 64%. I mean, that's pretty much your highest level in 4 years, over 4 years. So we're waiting on a 70% target here, okay? Yeah, strong. Ethereum though, wow, up 3.33. Come on, dude. We got the soundboard. We got to play it again, all right? It's got to be
32.33, repeating, of course.
% up on the day. limbo though. I mean, no ability to manage risk, right? No breakout of any sort is ongoing really. You're just contained in this long established downtrend, been going on since December 16th. So we're literally talking about a 4-month downtrend now on Ethereum. But if Bitcoin continues to play ball, I could imagine that Ethereum would go to 1728 for a test. Hopefully they could break that. Again, you don't have to have an edge for an asset to rally, okay? The edge is specifically for swing traders, position traders, right? We're just using structures at inflection points to be able to construct a trading plan with optimum reward to risk. That's all it is. In situations like this, it's like, okay, we're just observing it. We're just looking at Ethereum in between 1420, 1730, the two big levels, just floating on, whatever. Great to see it up today. Vitalik still hasn't gone to the gym. Nice. We got a Chris soundboard, nice. All right, here is your XRP that, man, hit that supply line and pulled back, but I'm starting to dig this price action. I mean, you could virtually, somebody there, yes, you the viewer, could be like, bro, is this really developing? Is this actually occurring? It can't be. It can't be this good. It can't be real, right? I mean, maybe it is. A back test of 196 would be pretty cool. I would think that would be like your best. If you were trying to long, that you'd probably want to be trying to go long at 190, 196. But what if there's too much demand and the sellers are unable to even test that level again? It kind of looks better. Not even, 4 hour doesn't even look that great. It probably looks better on more significant time scales. Like the 12 hour, a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, really tall structure. Here's your very real and established neckline at 223. I mean, people can use their imagination, and I get it. I see it. Some other people around the world can see it too. Like that, I mean, it's real. So, I mean, all this establishes is that maybe buyers are recapturing momentum of this asset, where you can clearly see the momentum has been in the hands of the sellers since that crazy early February crash. So it would be, this would certainly play out if Bitcoin was going to go run higher, but we haven't even made, remember, think about Bitcoin. We have not even made a higher high yet than our previous major discernible swing highs. As you can see, where I'm scrolling, 88.5. So until then, you're just making an 88% retrace from the high to low. I think you're exceeding the 886 now. But yeah, it's very cool. I love what Bitcoin's doing. But we need to make a higher high, all right? To just be real. So, yeah, very, very, this is your supply line, okay? Forget your structure, your momentum shift. Just think about this. If they're able to break that, we might be onto something, dude. And it's not about like, is the trend reversing? It's just about, sellers just got exhausted. Sellers were exhausted, man. The low, the lower low, the lower low, the lowest low. And then just every time you're making a low, you're just making lesser levels of negative momentum. You were making higher lows on the RSI. You were just continuously diverging, and then it just happened to be the rule of 3. I could have just plotted this too. So, you get it, triple the divergence, right? The third valley on the RSI, the third valley on the price. Okay. And somehow, yeah, it's good, but man, there's so much more work to be done. So it's like, I consider this a massive all caps W with US futures. We have not even looked at US futures because we're looking at a couple more coins. What happened? Where's my Solana? I don't even know what Solana chart we're using. Was it this one? Let me see. Yeah. Nice. Well, it was up more earlier. Indeed it was. It's pulled back tremendously. It was up over 3% today. Solana today saw a high of 143.25. That was the highest price seen since March 26th. So what's cool about it, you were above all the levels, all the major levels of worry broken. And I guess now we're dealing with local levels. The March 25th high is Not yet quite been rivaled. In fact, from the high to low, it's probably an 88% retrace. So, God, we got to worry about that. But, you know, you're not in a trend reversal situation. You're just in exhaustion. Sellers got exhausted, man. And then the buyers recaptured a level and they reconfirmed it as support. And it's been doing pretty well. In fact, like Solana paired against Ethereum this weekend, saw its highest close ever again. And you got to wonder, I mean, like, is Solana going to, or other altcoins going to outperform Ethereum to a point where Ethereum finally gets flipped and supplanted as the number 2 S coin, number 2 coin in the world? Or be a market
Cheers to
cap,
freedom,
of course.
Jesus, our stream mods, and Mitch. Life is rich, Lidge.
Coiner, thanks so much for the $17.77. Would you not like $17.76, man? Thank you, dude. All right, so good start, but remember, you're making the lowest low and you're rallying, and it's great, but you're not even making a higher high yet. So it's like you gotta temper. I wouldn't say expectations. That's a no word, but you want to temper your expectations when you want to see assets making consecutive higher highs, higher lows. And in Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin doing? It just made its lowest major low. Before that, the lowest high. Before that, the lower low. Before that, lower high. Before that, lower low. Like, it's just, you're downtrending still, but hey, it's nice to see rallies and short squeezes. So, and it's good to see, like, right, a supply line that's very, very well constructed, broken, and back tested, confirmed as support before any movement upward. So, BNB, well, it's starting to shape up. Maybe, I don't know, it's still making lower highs only. But, you know, something interesting about BNB that is not going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or Solana is the most recent discernible low was actually higher than the previous low before it. That is something that no other crypto high market cap is doing. Talking about the big 5 or whatever. So keep that in mind. It is interesting, but not at an actionable level, right? For the swing trader, we're looking for inflection points. So they kind of front ran the inflection point at 522, and it was supposed to maybe see 510, but they saw it 2 times. So there was so much demand, it seems, on this third valley, April 8th, that they couldn't even test it again. I guess that's how we might try to interpret it. So maybe it's confirming 1 and 2 locally. And here's one bottom, here's the second bottom. The second bottom has a form of confirmation. I mean, if Bitcoin's gonna actually go higher, you know, BNB's got an argument for it at least. So, okay. Those are your cryptos. I wasn't expecting to be here long tonight, dude. I'm really tired. Long day. I wanted to just be live because we typically here for the Sunday evening stream. Okay, so let me just look at the S&P 500 future. This is what I'm talking about, dude. Like, in what world are we living now, where S&P futures at, like, not just like breaking supports. Okay, the supports, resistances are not my opinion. They're just there. Okay, you know, they held it up. I hope it changes. I hope we just, you know, oh, we're gonna reverse soon. But that 5271 level is very real. 5329. It's a zone. I could easily just plot a, you know, what I do with the gray zone. Right, you're below it now, man. It's very bad. There is tremendous downside potential below this level.
Carl tipped $25. Dollar fill for Carl Plaza.
Hey, it's Carl, man. Thanks so much for the $25 contribution. Session Top Jesus, dude. Thank you, dude. Yes, we'll look at Filecoin that has been in the gutter. It briefly fell below the gutter. All right, I don't even know what happens when you fall below the gutter. But the sellers could not sustain prices below the gutter, so opportunity? They're just, you know, looking through crypto, it's such a mixed bag, man. It's crazy. It's like, we all know if Bitcoin pumps, all the altcoins are gonna rally, even without an edge, without a structure, even at all-time lows, they're just gonna randomly pump. That's fine. But we're here looking for the ones that, hey man, maybe we have an argument, like we have confirmation lows and it's all positive price action correlation to the key levels, and we have divergences, you know, we have wedge patterns. There are a few out there that are interesting, very interesting, but most are just, crap. I mean, if it pumped, it would just be because my Bitcoin pumped. That's it. So please pay attention right now to Bitcoin being up $2,000 on the new week and new day, and the S&P futures losing a critical inflection zone with tons of downside potential if it's actually a real bearish breakdown. That's what I mean. Like, they could just recapture it by morning, but as it currently stands, no bueno, they would say down here, okay? Really hands off the S&P below 5,300. That's a line in the sand. All right. And do you think it's much better on like the US 30 or the Dow Jones futures? Worse, kind of worse. I mean, they gapped it down. And you're at lows of day right now, down over 1%, 1.16%. And I'm just thinking your next target level is, 38, 37.8, but it could be a retest of 36.8, man. Like, it's bad. It's very bad here, okay? Like, this is just a ugly situation on US equities. And it was all more visible here. It was all about that. Oh my goodness. The 4 hour, like the daily, not enough data to really be able to see anything, but you zoom in on less significant time scales like the 4 hour, you can see the Trump pump tweet and then the attempted rally that manifested into a lower high locally. And you get local highs, right? 1 and 2, it's like a confirmation high, form of confirmation, and it applies distribution because it's a lower high. And then you start losing support like this, your target on the S&P is 49.25, 49.45 down here. That's your target if this is a real bearish breakdown below the level. Dow Jones, unfortunately, is well ahead. There was some stat that happened on Friday. Yeah, Peter Tushman, my boy, my man, he tweeted about it. What was it? It was weird. So sometime last week was the first time in history the Dow Jones fell over 1% while the S&P 500 closed higher. And now we're witnessing weakness on the Dow Jones. Like, it is selling off harder than the S&P. Right, those are your big staple companies of the U.S. Bitch Jedi, oh my God!
Beach Jedi 101 tipped $101. Happy Easter, Mitch. Hope everyone had a great weekend.
Dude, Beach Jedi.
Hype in the chat!
Thank you so much for the 101. The Jedi coming in. Happy Easter to you and your family and your friends. I hope it was great. I hope you caught more Easter eggs than literally anyone ever. Thank you, dude, and had a great Easter dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever. Thanks so much, dude. Thank you, man. Thanks for Beach freaking Jedi 101. Uh-oh. Way too loud, probably. Music volume louder than it usually is. Oh, God. Of course it is. The stream's ruined. Well, sorry for ruining the stream. I can't help it, man. It's like, you don't understand. Looking at OBS, what you do to make the stream not terrible is almost nothing. I'm talking, I move the mouse like this effing much. Oh my God, dude, just stop it. Oh my God, why is it doing that? This effing much, okay? For the decibel levels to be like good, and if it moves this much the wrong way, it's impossible to enjoy the stream. It sucks. It's one crappy thing about playing music. I should probably stop playing music and just listen to it myself, and then y'all can play music yourselves, you know, but it's just, man, too much upkeep, dude. Good Lord. All right, so NASDAQ 100 at lows of the day right now also broke a very real support resistance, man. You do not want to see these index funds below these key levels because you're seeing the consequences of the Dow Jones already playing out. Not good. Not good at all, man. Here's your crypto quad screen. Solana top left, Ethereum top right, XRP bottom left, Binance bottom right. Okay, so all doing very well today. It's just, what world are we living in right now? When does this happen? I mean, here it is. Here's the NASDAQ futures below 18,341. It's very scary. I mean, it's like retest of the lows. Seems very possible. It's just like, dang, man. Risk aversion situation with this price action. Is the VIX open? Come on, man. Let's freaking go.
Tipped $102. Not a tip war. Just props to it Beach Jedi unto the days MRTA hashtag Music Cloud was alive.
Music Cloud? What is Music Cloud? What are you talking about, dude? Coiner Man, thanks so much for the $102. Beach Jedi, he said it was not a tip war, even though he tipped $1 higher than your original tip. So I don't know if that was blatant or just coincidence. Seems like it's not coincidence because someone could have been like, oops, I accidentally tipped like $101. But no, dude, it was 102. So thank you, dude. Yeah, so Coina, chat world, be careful. I mean, the VIX, I don't think it's open, but we have futures. Yeah, down 9% on Friday, right? But we get what we're seeing right now. If there's follow through this evening into pre-market, into open, this VIX will be up another 10 to 20% tomorrow. All right, it just will. Oh, so we have any VX? Here we go. Yeah, volatility index up 1.2% right now on CBOE. Okay, so yeah, man, it's so weird. It's so weird seeing like it's just such a fascinating time to do analysis, despite like anyone's sentiment, because of gold, U.S. equities, and Bitcoin. They're all doing different things right now. And that just, if you have participated in this market long enough, you know like that typically never happens. It's very, I don't
Futures
even remember.
down, crypto up. What the what?
Yeah, no, it's, I'm saying we are all living in very interesting times right now. So take it all in, enjoy it. Enjoy the decoupling while we can. Because I was just like, man, I'm hoping what we are witnessing on Bitcoin not dumping with equities dumping, I hope it ends up meaning something. Because we could have just as easily, instead of this pump happening, just dumped or crashed at open, which we've seen some pretty nasty crashes when futures reopen, and it didn't happen this time. And so it's fascinating to me, okay? It should fascinate you too, because of its complete and utter rarity. So yeah, what I was talking about with some of these altcoins You just see something. I think it's breaking out tonight. Oh boy, here we go. Sorry, got to do a good trend line. All right, look at this. I mean, this is something where Thomas Bulkowski's next book on chart patterns should include XLM possibly. I mean, you can't even, who's painting this? What is the person that's painting this beautiful falling wedge pattern? What is their diet? Where do they frequent? How much can they bench press? Because this is like Giga Chad falling wedge. And as of today, you can see the supply line 1 and 2 and 3 with the candle close, another touch with a wick, pretty much another one on the 26th of March. I mean, it's beautiful. They're legit like breaking it right now. Now here's the issue. You don't really have a higher low going in, a local form of confirmation. You have the low, the lower high, the lowest low. You know, that's not great. But again, right now, like Bitcoin and these other assets, this crypto thing, it wasn't about a trend reversing rally. It was about a seller exhaustion rally. They're much different, right? Buyers just, eventually the sellers just get to a point where the lows, there's too many lower lows, lower highs, and eventually, you know, patterns get near the end of their development, and then a breakout happens and you get a rally, but it may end up becoming like you go to 30 cents because things get nuts, and then you sell off, and then eventually, after the pump, this first pump, we get a higher low at some point. And that's when, instead of it, you know, you go from like a seller exhaustion rally into, oh, they put in a higher low. Well, oh no, all of a sudden we have momentum shift. So the sellers have been in control of this asset since it topped in December because of the lower highs, lower lows, but all of a sudden, no more lower lows, a higher low. So a low, a lower low, lower high, lower low, maybe the same high, maybe even a lower high comes in next, and then we sell off, and then we finally stop making lower lows. And that's kind of possibly the beginning of a trend reversal, and then a rally off that. You end up making a higher high. Oh man, we're starting to say a higher low and a higher high. You sell off again, a higher low. More than before, all of a sudden, classic accumulation structure develops. But this is how it all begins. If it's gonna, a lot of times, it starts with the exhaustion pump, okay? And that's what Bitcoin, we figured if it was gonna happen, it's gotta be because of exhaustion, not because of the trend. The trend has been lower highs, lower lows for over 3 months. Okay, anyway, sorry. Trying to articulate this in a way that, like, you know, people understand, okay, there's differences. It's not like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's just been making consecutive higher highs, higher lows for 3 months. No. Brad, you never messaged me back if it's better now. Okay, because it seems still terrible. Still, oh my God, dude, I gotta. Dude, it's so low. It's gotta be good now. I mean, I've ruined the stream, I know, but with music, which shouldn't be even playing, I know, but no money printer news. Just people are scared. Well, I have 2 screens, so it's hard to access all the screens in Discord. Yeah, well, I don't know on my side, so. Oh, M2, yeah. Oh, what's the, I don't have a ticker for it. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, another alert went off, if you don't know. Oh, look at this. So our M2 has just seen its highest level since April 2022. We have eclipsed the high from mid-January. So, yeah, liquidity, you can clearly see that more is coming, all right? So I'd imagine it's not gonna stop. What was my alert? I'll show you. right here, dude. Bitcoin to the US dollar paired against the S&P 500, up 2.52% today. This is huge. I tweeted about this. I talked about it in the stream. But this is a major inflection zone back from 2021. Okay, the sellers, captured prices below it, levels below it, but then there was no follow through. Buyers reassumed control, and now we're just breaking back out, and I think that's phenomenal. In fact, you are currently trading at your highest price since February 4th. Remember, this Bitcoin paired against the S&P 500. So, and what is let's do gold to US dollar paired against the S&P. I want to see this. Oh my God! Wow. Good Lord. So it's still got a long way to go, seems like. Let's go to the weekly here. So gold paired against the S&P 500 is at its highest level since March 2020. All right. Wow. Looks like it's going to continue running to that point too. I don't know. But I'd read that gold now, in the past 20 years, is actually formally, as of last week, outperforming the S&P 500 in a 20-year period. That is crazy. But it kind of makes sense when you look at gold itself, because like gold this is crazy, man. Just think about, since that partial decline, shoot, man, a weekly, let's just say since October 2023, gold is up. In 546 days, gold's up 86%. I mean, you think about it. Gold is up in just from October. Gold is up 33. Screw it, dude. Screw it.
32.33, repeating, of course.
Yep, 32.33% higher in a matter of what, half a year? Yeah, what a cut with Hendel, man. And like, we're looking at this. This is what's interesting. We're looking at this. My gold chart, my gold cup with handle, man, outperforming like the Jesus. But then you go to the monthly, and then you go to Bitcoin, and it's like, wait a second, man. Wait a second. Oh yeah. Yeah, cup with handle, man, on monthly, on Bitcoin. Look how close we were to testing the old all-time high. We were off by like 600 points. That was the target. So now on the monthly, 9 days, 21 hours to go, working on a bullish engulfing candle. We'll see how high this goes this week. I hope it really starts rolling. But beautiful. You know what's cool about Bitcoin's monthly? Still trading above 60 on the RSI. You were in the bullish control zone on the monthly with an unfinished cup with handle with a measured move at 121. It seems weird because like there is no world that we've lived in where Bitcoin has been able to do anything positive with equities doing what they're doing right now. It's never been a thing, ever. Sorry, it just hasn't. So it's like, how can we calculate, or how can we even conceive of seeing $121,000 anytime soon if equities are going to keep doing what they're doing right now? I don't know. I don't know how this plays. It would be like, oh wow, something that's never happened before is happening, and we're witnessing it. That's how we get to 121 on Bitcoin. Yeah. Crazy world. And big one's 87.5 right now, pretty much near the highs of the day. We got less than an hour to go to your first 4-hour candle close of the new week and new day. If you're enjoying the live stream, please hit the like button, the bell, sub. I'm just here late. I've been live for 44 minutes. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be live, dude. I'm super tired. It's, I just wanted to go live to say hi and give a status update on, well, stuff, quite frankly, that is important. It's not a run-of-the-mill nothing burger Sunday. I've already looked at the DXY. We can look back at it again so you can see it. Yeah, it'd be nasty. Over 3-year lows currently and gapped down. Yeah, man. waiting on 97.30 pretty much. So you know, so horizontal line, support resistance. Yeah, all this effort from buyers, all that effort to try and rival the previous high from 2022, and they failed every single time, even recently. Yep, send it way lower. No, tomorrow's not a U.S. holiday. What's up, Nate? Buffett and smart money are still on equity sidelines. Yeah, they say they like cash and equities, but I don't see how you can like equities right now due to the lack of structure. See, it's like maybe some investor, economist people that are really smart. Look, dude, you know, the S&P 500, we look at the weekly. Dang, man, you're getting real close to that 200 moving average, right? I mean, that's a level that's almost undefeated. I mean, straight up, look at the 200-week simple moving average. Last time we spent any sort of time below it was 2010. Okay, that was very bad. I mean, yeah, you get there in 2001, the lowest depths of heck of the downtrends. You know, the tech bubble popped, global financial crisis. Yeah, spend an absorbent amount of time below it, but like since then, since the recovery, since it was recaptured, reconfirmed as support in 2011, the only time you were really below it was during the peak mania of fear during the COVID lockdown and crash sequence, right? Not much time spent below it. It was scary though. And then immediately the V-shape, the money printers turned on. Holy crap. And then, you know, you saw another test, October 2022. That was the bottom of the 2022 bear market. But hey, you had a dragon pattern. Like it was a low. This is like what Bitcoin had. Like, what's different about, you know, just predictable patterns, right? It's the low. It's the slightly lower low. Oh my God, look, bullish divergence, chat. Well, Bitcoin's showing bullish divergence of the daily. They broke the supply line. Bitcoin's about right here somewhere. All right, you're just looking at patterns. They present themselves. They can fail, but dang, man. So anyway, since that dragon pattern, testing the 200 moving average again, we have not yet seen it yet. And so it's like, yeah, you have your piercing line, but you don't have any follow through yet. No follow through on the piercing line, so we don't even know if this is real. And frankly, that's the panic area. Like if you're getting down to 466 and you start breaking that level, man, I don't even know what to tell you. We would be in serious trouble because you'd be losing the 480 old 2021 high. Think about that, all these years, and you're flat with inflation's done what it's done. You know that. So, and what I'm saying is, like, here, we're always just looking for structures to develop, 100 days, you know, however long it takes. And we know how that takes time, lots of time. We saw it at the end of 2022. We even had that drag in there on the weekly, but we're not at a point where we have structures. You know, we just had a structure. And go back to the streams. Go back to the streams in February, early February. Every stream talking about these same structures that took a long time to develop. It was the bearish deep crab on the spider, the type 2 return, bearish divergence. The buyer exhaustion was so real up here. It took a long time. So the structure ended. And so now we're in impulse mode. VIX is crazy elevated. The bots are in trader mode. Not a good environment for the swing trader, okay, because no structure. But it's just crazy that, dang it, you know what, Bitcoin had a structure. It has a freaking structure. Can't believe it. But again, till we're breaking 88.5, really till we're breaking 93. Here's the thing, you can get a rally, one of these levels, and sell off. Oh no, we're screwed. And then all of a sudden a higher low gets put in. And man, I'll tell you, big sharp sell-offs could happen. And as long as we put in a higher low than the previous low, momentum shift, and then we rally again. And then eventually we end up doing this. We end up painting ourselves a good old-fashioned shark pattern one day. Our SPY guys really watching the weekly? What do you mean? Are they really watching? Yeah, they're watching the weekly. Dude, we just looked at the 200-week moving average. It's virtually undefeated for the past 15 years. Can't be beat. Like, always bottoms there. We haven't even tested it yet, but we're close. And so it's like, yeah, without an edge, without any structure, you very well could be testing the 200-week moving average very soon on the spider, on the index funds. So, yeah, so we're just in the beginning stages of a potential wave reversal, okay? Because you have one big wave down, smaller wave up, smaller wave down, and then typically the C to D wave, right? It's the larger wave up, but within that larger wave up, you can get all kinds of ups and downs, and that the C to D wave wouldn't be invalid until sellers took out the C point. So Phil Johnson, he's coming in from Tokyo. Hi in the chat, Tokyo. Hey. Sorry, it was probably loud. Yeah, 120 Batson. That'd be a great canary, dude. I'd be canarying. So I'd probably buy a canary or something if that happened. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't look. I talked about it briefly on the stream. Sorry, we got going. The U.S. Let's look at the 30-year. U.S. 30-year yields gapped up. I think it's probably. I had another alert set up, so it probably hasn't gone any higher. Oh no, it's about to go off. Shoot, dude, we gapped up. I mean, you would think this gap's gonna fill, but dude, it is just. This is what I'm saying. Yields should not be spiking right now. Bonds should be rallying, but no one's buying. There's no one there to buy. The Fed will have to come in and buy soon. We'll have to start pulling levers. And then inflation, money printer go burr. We got to buy our own bonds again like we've been doing. Like, we can't fix it. So, yeah, yield spiking, bonds dumping, equities dumping, gold going literally parabolic, and then Bitcoin looking really good in this environment now. What? Yeah. Dollar down, correct. Yeah. I don't know if we have, I mean, as a streamer, I've been streaming over 7 years. I don't think we've gone through a situation like this in the entirety of my stream tenure, okay? No Beach Jedi, wake up. Dang it, dude. I wish I had a slap button on my soundboard. There are so many buttons I could use, man, but I could just... You know, it's like, okay, what's going on right now on the S&P 500? Okay, dude, just kidding, dude. Time is ticking, chat. I don't know, man. Getting new sounds is fun. Okay. But yeah, that's like without structure, right? Without positive price action correlation to key levels, you are only at the casino. And so you have to look for individual assets that might be giving us opportunity, right? And unfortunately, all you can do is go off of like, hey man, nice wedge breakout maybe on XLM. Nice wedge breakout already on VeChain. Right? It was a beautiful wedge breakout and even a back test of key levels from history, and the supply line became demand line. Now you're above levels. You know, it's crazy. You look at some of these and it's like, wow, some are like actually, look at IOTA. Dude, this is crazy. Like, who cares about IOTA? It's putting in its lowest low. Okay, but lots of lower lows. But what's just happened? Sellers violated a key level, but they couldn't do anything with it. It was a bearish breakdown confirmed. We were effed. But then look, bullish engulfing candle. Thank you, Trump. So a spring and a back test of spring could be going on. In this level, it's not an opinion of a level, right? 15 cents, 14 cents. Look at this. All these swing highs, these swing lows. Swing low. Look at this. It was the first one, 2019, right? A spring, a back test of spring at the same level before going nuclear. It's the same type of price action you're receiving here. It's very interesting stuff. Like, I wonder if this is going to actually manifest into a larger rally here. Because that's a technical event occurring on IOTA. And who cares about frickin' IOTA? It's a scam coin in 2017. No one cares, but it's just interesting technicals. Just is, man. Altcoin was a request. Here it is. That's what I'm saying, man. The basement, it fell below the basement. It made all-time lows just just 10, 11 days ago. But yeah, above 244 equals the recapturing of the old all-time low from December 2022. Okay. Yeah, it was all a joke, dude. I mean, 2017, every crypto cycle's all a joke. But Bitcoin, though, always, ends up making higher highs, higher lows, which is really cool. So, hey, thanks for the 640 people here. It's really late. Is it not past your bedtime, chat? We could easily get 300 likes right now if we tried. 300. Don't do it for me, man. Do it for Bitcoin, man. Do it for the U.S. equities market. Do it for the DXY. Do it for the yields, man. Now, I'll just say do it for Bitcoin because this is incredible. This Bitcoin and crypto should be an utter ice age right now, and it's not happening. And it's the craziest thing. $87,422. We're hitting that 1 hour mark on stream uptime. So pretty cool to see. Yeah, I don't. What's Nvidia trading at overnight? What are some of these big techs? Tesla, what's it trading at overnight right now? Probably can't be good. Let's go check back up on the quads, and they're still all pretty much at their lows right now. Delayed reaction. Well, I thought it might be that until this rally. Until it's like this today, the new 4 hour candle, new daily, new weekly has like kind of, I mean, for now, it's kind of like proving that it is not some sort of delayed reaction. MSTR up 3.5%. Let's freaking go, Frenchie. Let's go, dude. Y'all want to see it, man? Like, this was all that had to happen for MicroStrategy to see utter glory would be Bitcoin has to do something. Has to do. Look where we are. If you can see it. You've confirmed a bottom. You defended the 200 moving average somehow. You're still in the downtrend since the blow up top. But this supply line here, they closed like at it, if not slightly above it. So if we break this, you got to break 333. But you do that, it could be a very, very smooth ride to the 400s, and no one would believe it. But hey, it's there. That structure, it's better than nothing. Better than the equities market, which is like a, you look at MicroStrategy, dang dude, that's a pretty formidable structure they've been trying to develop this thing for 50 days. That's better than, then you go to the NASDAQ, and it's like, oh, there's no structure here, dude. All you did was a lower high in the previous high, and you're rolling over again. Like, oh, okay, so we just saw that, and now we're looking at Microsoft. Is Microsoft giving us structure? No structure, man. Like a high, then almost like a confirmation of distribution. Look how it's such a subtle lower high than this high, but that's good. That's, if you're able to identify that, that can give you, evidence that maybe we're going lower. And this was discussed, that lower high. And man, did we not follow through in the coming days? And you got to retest 344, 349 on deck. Yeah, very bad. So no structure in equities for the most part. And then you've got assets that are not equities. They're all crypto related. MicroStrategy looking good. But then, you go to Coinbase and it's like, I would say there's definitely seller exhaustion, right? You can click low, lower, low. Testing 150, below 150 is death. But guess what? They defended it. Nice. It's one swing low in 2022. It crashed below that. Straight down to 114. If they don't hold it, they held it in September. They're holding it now. Okay, so this is probably going to be up. If Bitcoin sustains its rally here, then you're just going to gap up probably 190 or something, 185. But not much of so much of a structure. Someone could be like, it's a dragon. It would be kind of a weird dragon head, foot, second, or the hump, the second foot maybe. Man, you're kind of reaching there. But all we're trying to do here is look for structures to give us an edge. And then we look at those structures to develop at key inflection points so we can optimize our risk management. Okay, so it's like two things we need. So this isn't really the best, but man, it's just crazy to see MicroStrategy doing what it's doing. Like, I can't believe that. Like, what's happening here? This is different. This is very different than a lot of other assets. Like, how is it doing this with equities like crashing multiple times? I don't know. We've never been here before, man. All right, we've hit the 1 hour mark, chat. Done it. Just wanted to be live with y'all this evening. Say hi in the chat for Jesus.
Quiener tip $25. I think my request only serves to age me, Eastman Kodak Company COD. But I am not too old to have an edge.
At one point in 2021, this was like a meme, right, or something. They were trying to do something, and it was gonna be a pump, man. Let's go back. Well, yeah, dude, remember? Oh, yeah. Old Kodak. Yeah, dude, I remember. $60. We're gonna do something. Let's, I don't know what happened. I can't even remember. I just remember it was something weird. Dude, they're up trending. This is crazy. Like, it's kind of crazy, dude. Thank you for the 25, by the way. I mean, Kodak, and look at it. How about an 886 retrace? It's like, if you exclude the scam wick, that was a Reddit Wall Street Bets pump. If you exclude that, all you have is this. Of course. Really M shape, completing type 1, type 2. Now all of a sudden higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, highest low. And then the recapturing of a level here. This 571 to 629 level, to be above that would be very consequential. Well, it could be a fake out, but as you can see what happens, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Are we looking? We're looking at more than before. We're looking at, look at the weekly bullish engulfing candle. It was really bad. Like, and I don't even know. Like, if equities keep dumping, this is probably gonna be, you know, your Cinderella turns into a pumpkin patch or whatever they would say. I can't remember the story. Something about mermaids too. But yeah, falling below 571. There's no reason to own it, I don't think. But if it holds, then man, and we can catch follow through on this engulfing candle at the 200-week moving average, and you're trying to put in your highest low of this kind of newly established uptrend, you got an argument above 630, but it needs to stay above 630, and it's really, really tough, man. Like, again, it's always about the three, right? What's the macro? What do the index funds look like? What are their trends like? What are their structures like? Oh, we don't have an edge, and they've been crashing, and they just breaking support on futures. That's not good. And what is a Eastman Kodak Company's sector? Industrial machinery. Okay, so if it actually is that, don't we look at the industrial ETF, which is Less materials. Industrial. I can't remember. Was the industrial XLI? Well, kind of in a, you had a piercing line, but you didn't catch follow through. Topped out. Not in the best spot here either, because they could come for a 200-week moving average test. Very uncertain, man, right? You had a head and shoulders, and it played out beautifully. Measured move definitely got hit, and you'd be praying for a V-shape. So then you go to Kodak, and Kodak's pretty good, but it's all about those levels, man. So it's cool that we're making higher highs, higher lows, and they're trying to defend a key level. But let's just, I think it's a wait and see situation. I mean, you want to be really careful trying to like dip your toes into U.S. equities right now, just due to the fact that we don't have an edge. But again, other people are going to be like, bro, just dollar cost average into this market forever. I mean, people, that's fine. People can do that, but that's a strategy, but there's no risk management involved with that. Again, man, I think like what we do here is just different than what like an economist might tell you. I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just telling you what I try to do. I'm just trying to look for structures. I'm looking for a greater than 50% chance outcome. I'm looking for an effing, give me a freaking ACHR on the weekly back in October. Give me that, because we got the structures, we got the forms of confirmation, we got the positive price action correlation to key levels, you got bullish divergence, sellers are exhausted, you got U-shaped volume, you had everything. That's what we look for here. You know how long it took for this crap to develop? Dude, think about it, 539 days, over a year. Like, we look for that. So that's what's taught here. But yes, someone would just be like, dude, just buy it. Just dollar cost average, bro. Like, fine. That's investing. That's not swing trading, position trading. You're just, yep, yeah, I'm just going to buy with my eyes closed because economists told me to, whatever, dude from Goldman Sachs. Fine. So what I'm just saying is, like, the equities market right now, it's just not a good environment for swing traders, position traders. It's just not. But it was in 2023. It was in 2024. Where you been? How many effing structures developed and played out in that 2-year period? Unlimited structures. It was unreal. So Bitcoin's still very strong on this last hour of the new 4-hour candle. Crazy, man. 87,450. Not much selling going on here. Look at this, man. Here's your S&P futures weekly. Gapped it down 1.1%. And you can see on the weekly, it's not a joke. It's just real level. This is what I'm talking about. Follow through price action after Japanese candlestick reversal is very important. We didn't get it. Okay. What would Jim Cramer do? What would Jim Cramer do? Yeah, dude, who's Jim Cramer? Probably better track record than Cramer, right? What's the 10-year light? US 10-year yield? Just look for a second, man. I know some of y'all are just in bed right now. You got your PJs on. You're laying down. You could have your significant other next to you, right? Oh my God. My stream deck fell. Ow. Yeah, that's right. Having chat for Jesus, dude. We're going to play it real quick, okay?
Type in the chat.
Having chat for Jesus, man. He's risen. And somehow, Bitcoin was a little late to the party, but Bitcoin rose with Jesus. It was amazing. Yeah, that really hurt my foot. It's going to be definitely bruised or something tomorrow, but it's all good. It's called a occupational hazard. No PJs. I'm on a bathing suit right now. I was supposed to bathe, but didn't. Remember Bitcoin though? You're talking about Japanese candlestick pattern. It's on weeklies. Guess what? Bitcoin had one, and it caught follow through last week, which is incredible. So, again, there's so much work to be done. Like, we can be excited about positive price action finally, but man, you got to recapture 200. Remember, we just had a last, I think it was this month. Yeah, April 7th, we had a death cross on Bitcoin, but I don't really put any weight on it. That's why I don't talk about it. S&P 500 did have a death cross last week. Index funds, they did across the board. But yeah, let's recapture that. Let's make a higher high for once in our lives, of 2025. There hasn't been one higher high in the year 2025 on Bitcoin. Think about that. And we're getting closer and closer to May. Okay, well, y'all, I really appreciate you coming out. Late stream, so I just wanted to come by and bask in the glory of Jesus rising again, but also Bitcoin doing the same thing. but not US equities. Gold is going parabolic. Yields are spiking. Bonds are not catching bids. And it's just weird times, unprecedented in ways. So, yeah, thanks again for coming out. And I'll be back. And really, thanks so much for those contributions tonight. Incredible. Till next time, respect the T. Hey. Yeah, I don't have the screen set up really yet, so I'm getting there, man. This is, dude, trying to make it equal quality here as it would be in the battle station. So, have a good evening.